Imagine this. It's a freezing January night, 49 BC. A 50-year-old general in a red cloak stands alone on the bank of a river so small a child could leap across it. Behind him, 5,000 freezing, loyal veterans. In front of him, the greatest city on earth, and certain civil war. One step forward and he becomes the savior of Rome, or its most hated traitor. He turns to his men and says 6 immortal words. Alia iacta est. The die is cast. This is the night Julius Caesar decided to burn the Roman Republic to the ground to save it. And in the next 60 days he will conquer all of Italy, with almost no fighting at all. 8 years earlier, Caesar was just another ambitious Roman noble. Then he marched into Gaul and did the impossible. Conquered 800 towns. Subdued 300 tribes. Took over 3 million people under Roman rule. Sent back to Rome so much gold that the price of gold in Italy dropped 25%. Back home the common people worshipped him. Statues of Caesar stood next to the gods on the Capitoline Hill. But every wagon of Gallic gold that rolled into Rome was another nail in his coffin for the old aristocratic families, the Optimates. Men like Cato the Younger openly said, Caesar must be destroyed the moment he loses his army. Roman law was crystal clear. A general may not bring his army south of the Rubicon River. Do it equals automatic declaration of war against the Republic. Caesar's proconsular command, and his legal immunity, expires March 1, 49 BC. The Optimates' plan. 1. Force him to give up his legions. 2. Drag him into court on 20-year-old corruption charges. 3. Convict, exile, or quietly assassinate him. Even his former son-in-law and triumvirate partner Pompey the Great, once Caesar's best friend, now stood with the Senate. Pompey famously boasted, "If Caesar marches on Rome I have only to stamp my foot and legions will spring from the soil." We're about to find out if that was true. Caesar sends letter after letter. Keep 1 legion in Cisalpine Gaul, or even just Illyricum, and I'll stand my other armies down. Senate's reply, led by Cato, no legions at all, and come to Rome alone. Final offer from Caesar, both Pompey and I give up our commands at the same time. Senate votes 370 to 22 against him. Consul Lentulus actually shouts in the Senate House, "If we don't stop him now, he'll be another Sulla, dictator for life." January-October 11, 49 BC. Caesar is in Ravenna with only the battle-hardened 13th Legion, about 5,000 men. The rest of his army is 400 miles away across the snowy Alps. To fool spies he spends the day watching gladiators train, inspecting public building projects, chatting casually. Evening, throws the most lavish banquet Ravenna has ever seen. As soon as the last guest staggers home, Caesar changes into a slave's cloak, jumps into a hired cart, gets lost in the marshes, finally finds his legion at midnight. He tells his officers, "We go south tonight." They reach the Rubicon just before dawn. The river is tiny, 10 meters wide, ankle-deep in places. Caesar stands silent for almost an hour. Plutarch says he muttered in Greek, "If I do not cross this river, my friends, it will be the beginning of misfortune for me. If I do, it will be the beginning of misfortune for all mankind." Then comes the famous omen, Suetonius and Plutarch both record it. A tall, radiant figure appears, snatches a trumpet from a soldier, sounds the cavalry charge, and wades across. Caesar shouts, "Let us go where the omens of the gods and the crimes of our enemies call us." The die is cast. He rides into the water first. 5,000 men follow. Civil war has begun. On the far bank Caesar makes a speech. He points to his golden signet ring. If the treasury fails, I will melt this down myself to pay you. In the noise many soldiers mishear and think he promised every man the gold ring of the equestrian order, instant promotion from commoner to knight. The cheer is deafening. Day 1, Ariminum, Rimini, surrenders before sunrise. Day 2 to 4, Pisorum, Phantom Fortunae, Ancona, Dyrrhachium, all open gates. Iguvium, garrison commander Thermus orders retreat, his own men lock him out and welcome Caesar. Auximum, Attius Varus has 3 cohorts versus Caesar's vanguard of 1 cohort. Varus's recruits throw down shields and join Caesar on the spot. Asculum, 10 cohorts under Lentulus spin the disintegrate before Caesar even arrives. News travels by horseback relay, 200 miles in 48 hours. Panic in the Forum. Consuls Lentulus and Marcellus flee without even taking the treasury keys. Senators abandon wives and children. People scream that Caesar's savage Gallic cavalry are already burning suburbs. Pompey writes to the Senate from Capua, I was completely unprepared. His famous boast about stamping his foot. Turns out the legions he expected were raw recruits who hadn't even received weapons yet. February 49 BC. Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus, great-grandfather of Nero, by the way, barricades himself in Corfinium with 33 cohorts, more men than Caesar has in all of Italy. Caesar arrives, builds perfect siege works in days. Pompey sends a letter, abandon the city and march south to me. Domitius hides the letter, lies that help is coming. His own officers discover the truth, arrest him, and open negotiations. At sunrise Caesar rides in. He pardons every officer, including Domitius, and personally hands over 6 million sesterces meant for army pay, then gives it back to the soldiers. Result, in 1 week Caesar turns from 1 legion 8 legions, and gains a reputation for mercy that will win him the entire war. March 49 BC. Pompey races to Brundisium with whatever troops he can scrape together. He loads the 2 consuls, 300 senators, and the treasury onto ships to Dyrrhachium, Albania. Not enough ships for the last 2 legions, he stays behind to cover the retreat. Caesar arrives 48 hours later and tries the impossible, blockading an entire harbor. He builds a massive breakwater, then huge anchored rafts with towers. Pompey converts merchant ships into 3-story mobile siege towers and attacks the works every day. On the night of March 17, with a storm coming, Pompey gives the signal. All lights extinguished, troops silently board. They smash through the half-finished barrier and vanish into the dark. Caesar watches from the shore, powerless, he has no fleet yet. From January 11 to March 17, 49 BC, 67 days total. Caesar has marched 1,000 kilometers, captured every city in Italy, turned Pompey's army into his own, and forced the entire government to flee overseas. And the only real fighting was one tiny skirmish at Corfinium where maybe a dozen men died. This is the most brilliant campaign in Roman history. Caesar now controls Rome, the treasury, and 12 legions. But Pompey has escaped with the fleet and the official government. The real civil war is just beginning. Spain, Greece, Egypt, Pharsalus, the Ides of March. All of it started right here, at a little river no one had ever heard of before.